So it's day 356, which means this is one of 10 videos left in year 2 content. Cool. And we are doing an FAQ, which is cool. Am I dialing it in? Maybe. Is it still going to be fun? Probably. Did I spill kale and clay on my shirt moments before I hit play on this and didn't bother cleaning it off before filming this? Yes, I did. I will tell you more about the FAQ and what frequently asked Q we are covering today in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. Yeah, I'm not cleaning it off. Just gonna stay there. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And you are here for day 356 of 365 days of soap. And today, as I said, is an FAQ. And we are going to try to get through the rest of the list that I've been keeping throughout the year, the hit list of questions, just to make sure that I have everything that's been asked in year 2 covered before we move on to year 3. So I will pull that list out, as soon as I get to my other computer so I can talk to you while stamping something, I think. Let's get to there so I can do that. Actually, I'm a liar. I am not going to go to the old FAQ list because I can still do another one of these videos. I'm going to actually talk about 2 very good questions that came up as a result of the playlist that we were doing for the Whipped Sugar Soap Scrubs, and also, the videos that have come out in the last 2 days. And they both involve weird stuff that you can do with cold processed soap. And the first one was triple milled soap and what it is, and if it's the same as Rebatch. And no, it's not. It is not at all the same thing as Rebatch for a lot of reasons, but Rebatch is a way to sort of do a hacked version of triple milled, or what's known as like French milled soap, right? With French milled soap, the same process. They make a soap, either hot or cold process soap, samesies. And in some instances, they remove the glycerin for the commercial, bars. They remove the glycerin and give that to, high-end cosmetic makers so they can put that in their product. Anyway, then the goal is working on removing all of the water, all of the moisture. So they run it through really heavy rollers with heat, lots and lots of heat, and usually chemicals are involved in that process to ensure that the heat is the right whatever. 3 times. They take the soap, they turn it into a paste, and then they roll it through high pressure rollers, really heavy rollers, 3 times to smooth it all out and squeeze out all of the water. Now, it's a pretty, it's a machine intensive process for sure, but it's pretty intensive just in general because that's a lot of work for one soap for sure. And so to that, not at all the same as Rebatch, especially considering when we do Rebatch, we tend to want to add more liquid to the batch and not remove it. And theirs is removing all of the water that is in the soap. And in some cases, they do add artificial bubblers to it. So, SLSA and, whatever, surfactants. And I'm using artificial loosely. We're not having that conversation today, to make sure that it has a big, nice bubble right off the bat. Now, one of the reasons why it's claimed to be better, triple milled soap, is because it's been pressed so many times, all of the moisture has been removed, and then it is remolded. It's molded at that point again, so you are left with nothing but, the saponified oils, and all of the moisture is gone. And that's true. That's a thing. I don't know that it necessarily makes a better bar, but it will make a longer lasting bar. Well, generally, because we also experience water loss with our soaps, right? But because there's all of the awesome glycerin in there, which is a natural humectant, even if you cured a bar of soap forever and absolutely every little bit of water is gone. Because remember, the water is gone when it stops losing weight. Fine. And that can happen at any given time. But even though it's no longer losing weight, because it has lots of glycerin in it, as an artisan bar of soap tends to have, natural byproduct of the saponification process, it will just draw moisture from the air. And so there's definitely a consideration with that. Now, a lot of people seem to think that they're harder and then they won't dissolve in the water as easily. I personally have accidentally left a, triple milled soap on the floor of my shower in a puddle, just like I've done with cold process soap. And I don't know, they both get gross and slimy and weird and dissolve because it's sitting in water. And soap, that we've talked about that with all the dual chain. Anyway, so I don't know that it's necessarily any better of a process. Something that I did find really funny, though, because triple milled is something that's coming back up in, the whatever, how popular something is. It's trending. There it is. Found the word. I went and I just double checked and looked at a couple articles real quick. And this is not what I would call an article. It was actually by a soap company that makes this stuff, Aussie Botanical. And they're saying that it's safer for the skin because the traditional way of making soap means that lye is still in it. And I'm just like, fake news? What are you talking about? Why? I don't know. That always bothers me when people use the potential downsides of something else to show how good their thing is. And also, it super bothers me when people lie. I do not like lying liars that lie. And so that's an inaccurate statement. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's not cool. That's not good information. But, it's said. Anyway, triple milling, rebatching, not the same thing at all. Okay, next up with weird things that you can do with soap and the questions that arise. Now, this came up following the videos that I've been doing the last couple days with all the soap dough that I was using for, the tops. And the question was, can you color it after it's, set up, after it's gone through saponification? And yes, you can. I don't know that I specifically said that in those videos, and so I apologize. But that's primarily what I do with all of my soap dough. And as I did say in those videos, the actual soap dough that I was using was just the cutoffs of all of the pencil soaps that I made because I had to cut them into triangles. And so I had a lot of that left over, and I did the rainbow with all of that. And I guess I could have, not put them all together, but I did that. I did that. They're just all together in a massive ball right now. And so when I needed to color them anything else, I just took a chunk off and flattened it out, put some mica in the middle, maybe a little glycerin, depending on how dry the soap already is. That was not dry, but I do like to keep my hands very moisturized during that with just some oil. Insert any oil here while you're working it in. And then just keep folding it up or conditioning it, whatever they like to call the thing that you do with clay to make it more pliable. So keep doing that, or run it through your pasta roller or your clay roller or your extruder or whatever to help the color get through the entire thing. But yes, you absolutely can color soap dough to whatever color you want after you've turned it into soap dough. And that's what I prefer to do for all of it. It's very rare that I actually make a specific color of soap dough for this, that, or the other. But usually that's because I very rarely use soap dough. Unfortunately, for the rest of this year, because I have so many cutoffs from the pencil soaps, I've had to find really creative ways to put soap dough into every single thing that I've done. And I've colored every portion, individually. But, there it is. And there it is, some frequently asked Qs and my responses to them. And I hope you found it informative and fun, for sure. For year 3 content, we will be continuing on with FAQs and deep dives, as well as a really cool, awesome, fun project that I'm just over the moon excited about, for sure. And so are the Discord sudsers, so it's cool, but the FAQs are still going to stay because questions always arise. And no matter how often I think I've already answered one, turns out that, maybe I haven't. So there they are. I appreciate you guys for joining me today, but also for every day. Since we're hitting like the end of year 2 content, it's, I'm getting, like kind of weepy and emotional thinking about how much we've done in year 2 content. I mean, it's been a lot. We've been on this crazy journey together. And so thank you for being here for this crazy journey. I appreciate you so much. The sudsers and this community is just everything to me. Just this community that has been built around this idea of we talk about things logically and rationally, and we don't resort to ad hominem attacks or unnecessary criticism, but just, help each other out and have nice discourse is amazing. And every day that it grows, I'm even more amazed. So thank you guys for all of it. I am out of here for today. I still have a project to work on. It's not done yet, but I will see you tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.